all, I need to tell you about Thanksgiving just a little bit. You might be familiar with it, but let me tell you, Thanksgiving is one of my favorite holidays because it has to do with food, really good food. Americans typically eat turkey, mashed potatoes, green beans, cranberry sauce, cranberry sauce. Stuffing goes inside the turkey. What else do we usually eat? Pumpkin pie. I love anything with pumpkin in it. So pumpkin pie is one of my faves. So let me tell you a few phrases that you need to know. First of all, happy Thanksgiving. So for different holidays, we say happy, for example, happy New Year's or happy birthday or happy Valentine's Day. But Christmas is the exception. So that's coming up soon, and we have to say Merry Christmas. But for Thanksgiving, anyway, we say Happy Thanksgiving. Okay, the next phrase is to say grace. So Thanksgiving being a Christian holiday, we pray before dinner. Sometimes people will put their hands together, and other people will hold hands around the dinner table. And when you thank God for the food, it's called to say grace. So it's the same thing as to pray. But I included this because typically for Thanksgiving, it's an important part of the celebration for anyone who is even slightly religious, because Thanksgiving is all about giving thanks, right? It's in the word. So if you're invited over to someone's home and they say, let's say grace, then you know what's coming. Next, let's eat, or bon appetit. So in English, we don't really have an equivalent of bon appetit, which is the phrase that you would say before eating to kind of say, okay, let's go, let's begin. Other languages have this, like French, like Spanish, Japanese, probably a lot of other languages have this phrase, but in English, we don't. So we will either use the French, it's kind of popular to say bon appetit. Yes, in English, even people who don't really speak French will say bon appetit, or just let's eat, or go ahead, kind of an invitation to begin eating. Okay, this phrase, could you pass for example, could you pass the green beans? Very, very important if you want to eat, right? So this is a normal way of asking, kind of standard politeness. If you wanted to be more polite, you could say, could you please pass the turkey? Or please pass the turkey? Or would you mind passing the turkey? But if you say this in a very, very, very polite way, in a casual atmosphere, it could sound like you're being sarcastic. So I would recommend just saying, could you pass the turkey? Last but not least, gobble gobble. Gobble gobble is the sound that the turkey makes. So around the Thanksgiving holiday, you may hear or read gobble gobble. It's also the way that we talk about eating food quickly. So eating delicious food, a lot of it, and say, ooh, gobble gobble gobble. We're eating a lot of food. So that's what Thanksgiving is all about in a nutshell, and these are 5 phrases that you should know. Happy Thanksgiving, to say grace, let's eat, or bon appetit, could you pass the salt, and gobble gobble. And I'm so excited because the 4th Thursday of November is Thanksgiving. And I love this holiday because it encourages us to give thanks. This is an American tradition. Every year, the 4th Thursday in November, we celebrate Thanksgiving. So let's get started. If you're invited to a Thanksgiving event, or really any dinner or party where there's food in a person's home, the first thing that you should ask is, what can I bring? Or what should I bring? Maybe the host will say, nothing, don't worry about it. But the host may ask you to bring a beverage, or maybe even a dish to share with others. Second, you could ask if you're not familiar with the special dishes that we have on Thanksgiving, there are a lot of special dishes like turkey and yams or sweet potatoes, green beans with almonds, cranberry, stuffing. These are all very specific foods to Thanksgiving. Although sometimes we eat some of those on other days. Some of them are pretty specific only for Thanksgiving. So you could ask, excuse me, what is this dish? So then you can ask, could you please pass that dish? Or could you please pass the stuffing? And you'll know what you're asking for. Now, when you eat and you enjoy the dish or the meal that you're having, you can say, this is so delicious, but a better way to express yourself like a natural English speaker, like a native, would be to say, my compliments to the chef. I love this phrase. I think it's very nice, a very good way to compliment the person who prepared the food. Again, you can say it with me. My compliments to the chef. Excellent. Now imagine that you're done eating, you've enjoyed the meal. Well, don't be so fast to just get up and leave. Offer to help. Ask your host, can I help clean up? You could ask, can I help with the dishes? Or can I help put some things away? And your offer will be so polite and gracious, and I'm sure your host will appreciate it. So this goes for men and women. You can ask if you can help to clean up. And probably your host will say, no, don't worry, just relax and enjoy yourself. But maybe your host will say, yes, please, I need some help. And that's great, because that's a way that you can show your appreciation or your thankfulness for your Thanksgiving dinner celebration. So I hope that these 5 phrases were helpful. Let's just review them quickly before we finish this free lesson. First of all, what should I bring? Second, what is this dish? Third, could you please pass that dish? Fourth, my compliments to the chef. And fifth, can I help clean up?